Good afternoon. This is Robert Paltz coming from a cold and wet North Carolina. Okay. One, two. Where am I? That's the screen I want to share. Okay. You should be seeing screen right now. Let's get to the presentation. Okay. This presentation is about source citations that I use. I use 11 templates that's in RootsMagic rather than all of them because I need to keep it simple. And the Muskogee RootsMagic SIG asked me to explain that, so that's what this is all about. I'm neither a professional or an expert genealogist, just an amateur like you. I do these vlogs to collaborate with you and maybe get some information back on how to do things better. Maybe I give you a little information, and maybe some of my viewers will take and give other viewers information too. So, any suggestions you have? A big thank you to those that have been providing comments in the past. It's really been helpful. Um, I also do these videos because some people say I go too fast, and that's probably true. And so they can stop these videos and rewind them or run them at a slower speed and see what's going on. All the views expressed are mine. I'm a member of 7 genealogy and historical societies currently, and I don't represent any of them. I do help administer a couple Facebook sites. If you've got any of those surnames, just come join us. We'd love to have you. In my last video, I was talking about my 2026 goals, and this applies to one of them. And so I've reprinted it here. Many years ago on my research database, I have 2 databases, research and composite. Composite's where everything is downloaded from the internet and has a lot of internet trash in it. Research is where I hand enter stuff. And anyway, I got very disgusted with the source citations I had in my research database, and so I eliminated all of them and started over. Most of them were not standard and didn't have sentences with them. So when you did reports, the reports were empty. They had blank spots in them, and I hadn't written sentences for them, and there were going to be a lot of sentences to write. So I decided to take and settle on a set of templates and work with those. And it's taken me a long time to get back to it. Okay, let's talk about the templates that I'm using. These are the templates I use. The new FamilySearch one for FamilySearch, the basic Ancestry databases for Ancestry, then books and newspapers, archive material, basic online template, which is very similar to the generic template, and I may have duplicated one there. And newspapers unidentified. That's clippings that my mother and other family members have collected and stuck in the different binders and books that I've received. And an artifact privately held, that's stuff that I have, and personal knowledge, and cemetery records. So, and then let's get into the body of the presentation. Okay, let's talk about how to access this and go to sources. Okay, here we are. While I've got this page open, I'm going to show you how I label or title my source citations, my sources. This is sources, then we'll do citations in a minute. So you can take and see that all my censuses are done by date, and then I also tag them. I will have a 1930 census for FamilySearch. I'll have an Ancestry census. And I'm putting the date the census was taken behind it now. That's mainly for me to take and put the proper date in there instead of just 1900 or 1950 and stuff like that. I also then break my sources down by state, and then our country and the area there. So Indiana church marriages, Indiana Evansville Courier and Express newspaper, and Indiana Evansville Journal. Evansville is a city in Indiana, if you're not aware of that. Indiana wills, Kansas, Franklin's a county, deeds, Oklahoma vital records, so on. Here's my Robert Paul's personal knowledge. Here's the private my library. Here's surnames, how I handle surnames. They're generally books on those family histories. And here's Texas, the one Texas I have in there right now. There'll be a lot more. And then U.S. I notice that appear to have many find a grave in there. Maybe I need to think about, here's a duplicate right here, merging those two together. So, okay. Seems like we're going to see a few duplicates. Now, how do you access the templates? Okay, let's go to templates. You go up here at this tab and you hit here. Now, I hope this is down this. Okay, now let's make this a little bit bigger. And okay, you're in this templates now. You can go up in this window and you put new. Let's just do family search. And there's only one family search template, and that's this one. I want to take and point out this right here. This is the reference. This is EE, it stands for Evidence Explained, and I'll show you a little bit more about that. So these are the templates. This is the information that you're expected to fill in for each of the templates. I'll do you another one, Ancestry. So there are a number of those. The Ancestry database template that I use is this one. So that was an AQS. I don't know what AQS is, so I'm going to have to take and look that up sometime. They've got a record, and it doesn't have a reference on it. And they've got images. That's again an AQS. So that's Ancestry record. Wonder what Bruce was thinking. And let's do book. This is a good place for you to choose a small set of census templates. I don't recommend using all of them. And the reason I don't is because it gets really complicated. I'm going to show you that on a spreadsheet in just a minute. These are a lot of these things, and trying to keep all of these items to put the same thing in the item repeatedly is a real challenge for me. I don't know if it is for you. Okay, here's the newspaper templates. Of course, I'm doing the newspaper online archives, that one. So that's a evidence explained one. Okay. Somebody's going to have to tell me what AQS is. It keeps showing up. Okay, newspaper, and then a basic. Okay, and a basic online template is what I use. Okay. And these are the things that you have to fill in for that, if you've got them. I did newspapers already. EN. Generic database online. I may be eliminating. Oh, that's an EE one. I may keep it and get rid of the basic online template, because they look to me, I need to compare them, but I think they're going to be very close to the same. Artifact. T, Robert. Okay, so there's various artifact ones. I use the one privately held because it's artifacts I have. So, and then personal. Personal knowledge, that's this one. Whoops, this one. That's a AE format, so evidence explained. So that's the kind of information they're looking for. And then cemetery. Cemetery records compiled online database. It's compiled online. That would be this one. Another EE, and that's the information they're looking for. Okay, so what I've done is to see how consistent I was for my grandfather. Nope, nope, cancel, close. Okay, let's go back to people. And the person I'm looking at is my grandfather. And these are his records, and you can see how many sources and citations I have on the side here. So I took that and I put that into a database. Okay. Okay. Show templates for each, show the naming. I've done all that. Okay. I just want to make sure I've done everything I said I was going to do. Okay, let's take this and bring it over. This is the spreadsheet that I've done for those templates. Okay, there are 11 of them, and then I follow them. And I discovered I'm largely not consistent. Here's Family Search twice. I have Find a Grave up here, and I have Find a Grave down here. Here are the sources. I think you might find that interesting, where the templates came from. And then let's go to one. This is Family Search. New Family Search. This is the event that occurred on 1 March 1988, and it was his birth. And this is what I put into the file. I'm going to go across here slowly so that you get it all at once. And then I'm going to go back and talk about it. I'm not going to do this for every one of them, but I'm going to do this for this one. Okay, when we get here, notice how inconsistent I was there. And that's the inconsistency I keep talking about. Also, I only did quality on this source and citation. We're in citation area right now. And that concerns me. I need to do quality in all of them. And the name, I think the citation name should be the same all the way down through, although I'd like to have your feedback and see if that's correct. Maybe the citation is different, but the source name has to stay. The source name has to stay the same. Get confused about these things. So it's not just as clear. So I've done that for every one of these. Book basic. And this is how I judge whether I'm being consistent or not. Okay. So I have one for every one of them. Some of them have less entries than the others do. And you can see cemetery records and everything. People generally only have one cemetery record. So when you're doing the master source, the master source URL is Find a Grave, if it's Find a Grave. And then when you've accessed it, and then it comes out like this, okay? I think the citation ought to have a URL down here for the actual record, memorial ID. Maybe I should put that in reference number here. I don't know. Anyway, see what you all have to say, okay? So that's the data, the spreadsheet. I did compare. Now, in my world, I use Zotero a lot. So let's go to Zotero, and this is Zotero for William Kern. Now let's take that first record where we were talking about. Let's go back. You ever feel like some of these give you too much information? Okay, let's go back to, well, there we go. I'm fiddling around. Okay, this is the source. It's a new family search. That's the type. Can't change that. That's the template. And then Indiana births and Christians. That was the first 4 here. Okay, now let's go to Zotero. And this is the same one. This is Family Search. So let's see what Zotero would print out as a bibliography. Okay, you do that by doing this. You choose, Zotero has 1,500 types in here. I'm using Chicago Manual Style, 18th edition, notes and biography. And I hit that, sometime today. There we go. And that prints out, I'm not changing the name. And now let's see. We need to go downloads. Come on. Downloads. Okay. And that came out like this. Okay. And for my spreadsheet, I captured that for you. And I'm going to share this in the meeting, the spreadsheet, for those that can read it. And I put it right over here next to the biography. Here's the Zotero biography. So this is the biography that's generated by RootsMagic. And this is the suggestion from me. And so this is basically this is Zotero's, and this is the what comes out of RootsMagic. Frankly, I'm more used to this, and it has quite a bit of information in it that this one doesn't. But anyway, seems to be the standard. That was a evidence explained standard. So, all righty, let's move this slide over there so we can move on. Things that I'd like to see in enhancements for RootsMagic 11, and I'd like to have us discuss these. One thing is, I'd like to have RootsMagic print out the spreadsheet I just did for an individual. That was all the sources that are in this spreadsheet today are my grandfather's. I'd like to have a printout of all the sources for my grandfather. So I can get if you go through and do the printout of the sources, it doesn't do that. It does it differently. And then I'd like to have a printout of the templates, like I was just showing you that sheet. I printed those out from screen captures and have them on a clipboard so I can take and see what's expected every time I look for a template. I page through the templates and find which one applies most. Another way of doing this would be in the new search algorithm that's in RootsMagic 11. That'll do printouts is allow that to search sources and citations. It has a search. Let me see if I can get to that and show it to you. Let's close this and let's go to search. And okay, so save searches. And let's say you want to do a new search plus, and you choose individual attributes. You say, okay. And you can come down here by sources, and you can search for things that exist. Footnote contains, okay. So you're searching the individual source footnote. So I can search on things like Indiana. Okay, and say okay. And say tist. Now do the search. Well, it only gave me one. It should have a lot more than that. Oh, I know why I did. It searched the sources. There's not that many sources in this file. I was doing this on the composite file a while ago, and it was full. But it only gives you the person stuff. It doesn't give you the source. What I want is the source. So that's not quite what I want. Okay? Just trying to explain the difference between the two. So that was a search by location. By database or group, count each source used. Okay. It does do a count in there, but I'd like to have it come out in the sources with the source so I could take and put them in a spreadsheet and put them in order of use. And database or group to determine who is missing. Okay, this is a more complex thing. This may require AI to do. Basically, If you have a 1900 census and a 1920 census for a person, it should have a 1910 census in there. I'd like to have this identify that the 1910 census is missing. I don't know if RootsMagic does that, and I just don't know how it works or not. But anyway, those are things I'd like to discuss whether you would like to see them or not. And I'll probably be able to explain them better in front of you. RootsMagic 11 playlist. There's the RootsMagic 11 playlist that's on my playlist. So if you want to take and see my other RootsMagic videos, there they are. Here's my contact information. I will respond to comments, but it may take a while. I'd like to know additional topics you'd like me to address. I really thank you for your time. And thank you. This is the end of the year. It's the beginning of a new year. Have a great new year. But I'm just blown away by the fact that I have 318 followers that found this interesting. My original goal was 20, and I want you to know that I really appreciate your time. All right, you have a great day.